So we have here Dave on the right, and Dave, how'd you hear about the Fixit Clinic?
On Free Cycle in Berkeley.
Oh, cool. I've heard of that. That's a website or like a
Free Cycle is an elaborate listserv nationwide that allows people to give away stuff of value.
Oh, okay.
We have one in Livermore too.
They're all over the country.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Though the ownership of Free Cycle is clouded right now, so it's a complicated world.
Is it? Okay.
What about you, Sharon? How'd you hear about
I saw the flyer when I came into the library for tax forms.
Okay.
Decided to try it out.
Cool. And we both have some success stories, right?
Yes.
Dave, what'd you bring in today? What'd you need fixed?
Okay, this is complicated, so I'm going to explain it thoroughly.
Okay.
This is a much repaired 8-year-old, very, very first laptop MacBook Air that they made that was solid state. This is the very first model of a computer that has technically no moving parts. But it does have a fan, but it has a crappy Apple fan that doesn't keep the circuit board cool. So 3 years ago, I bought this thing made specifically for this defect from Apple from a company in Japan called Moshi that opens up into a double fan.
Oh.
It, however, was made for the next model after my MacBook Air, so it has that model has the USB port on the other side. So the cord isn't long enough, and believe it or not, everything on this device, as we discovered, is asymmetrical except for these little pads. And so you couldn't just turn it over; it wouldn't sit right. It wouldn't hold the computer up. So I had to add an extension. Because I added the extension, I put a lot of stress trying to put it back in the little cute envelope that came with it. I added stress here that eventually created one of the two problems that I had. Whenever there's one problem, any idiot can figure it out. When there are two problems, it takes a genius. So there were two problems. This is the one we found last. But the first one we found, and where the real genius came in, I thought, was in figuring out how to take this apart, which is a little Chinese, not Japanese, puzzle to take this thing apart so you can get to the simple things within. But deep within, we discovered, after fooling around and testing all the circuits and looking around hard, that the fan was dirty. So we
Simple.
We blew out the fan. Well, it's spinning around with an electrical current nearby. When you do that, you invented a type of air cleaner. Unfortunately, that isn't designed ever to be cleaned. Now I know how to clean it.
Cool.
So, but even then it didn't work until we went back and figured out that there'd been an internal wire. There was no external sign of it, but in here there was a wire that needed repairing.
Got it.
So we repaired that, we blew the fan out, we put the whole thing back together, the most amazing thing. I can't tell you how many things I have fixed and then couldn't put it back together.
And did you?
It's all repaired as good as new.
Did you try to take it elsewhere before you came and brought it to the Fixit Clinic?
This
or try
item
to fix
cost
it yourself?
$80 new. These days, if you find an electronics repairman, they don't want to see you for less than $40 to begin with.
Yeah, that's.
And this was complicated enough. I thought it wasn't even going to be $40.
That's part of the problem. It's like it's more convenient and cost effective to just throw something away and buy a new one.
And I hate that, so
Exactly.
I was prepared to spend up to $79 to get this fixed.
And the Fixit Clinic, they didn't charge
They're not
you
going to
anything.
charge me anything, but I'm
Yeah.
giving them $20.
Nice. You put some money in the donation jar. It's awesome. So
Didn't see
Sharon,
the donation jar.
you have
have
a 25-year-old fan.
25-year-old fan
And
that I've had all my life.
you thought it was good for Dad.
It worked up until maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Everybody has one of
And
those
I put it
fans.
on the shelf saying, oh, we're going to look at this, we're going to fix it, we're going to find a way to get it working again. And of course we never did because, lots of other things happen. And so when I saw the Fixit Clinic here, I said to my husband, let's take some things over and see if we can do that. And he said, well, why don't you go? And I said, I'm just not mechanically inclined, so I feel like it would be a lot of time that I would be not able to understand what was happening. But the folks here took me through it step by step.
They don't want to fix it unless you understand what they did.
Yeah,
It was
did they
helpful.
kind of?
So I essentially took the whole thing apart with their advice.
Cool.
We
And did not get electrocuted.
had to take the motor case
Amazing.
apart.
Amazing.
And the first time we put it back together, we couldn't get it to work. We took it apart again, and just the right turn, twist, whatever. So
Boom,
none
it
of us can say exactly
was.
but it was just.
And it's not doing that in and out thing
And
anymore,
it-
even.
It is doing that, but all 3 speeds work now.
Nice.
And so I've got a fan. that
Have you
works
ever done anything like this, or you said you
Never.
weren't mechanical at all?
I'm
So,
not
but they
mechanical
gave
at all.
you
I
the
wasn't
guidance.
gonna come here. I
If
sent
you'd
my
asked her-
husband.
yourself.
If you'd asked her yesterday if she was gonna fix this today, she would have.
I told my
That's the
husband I'm
beauty
not
of the
going
Fixit Clinic.
because it'll take longer than 3 hours for me to do this, even to get it, you know. So he said,
Cool.
"All right, I'll take the mixer." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll bring this over and see if somebody can tell us what to do."
Awesome. So you guys, it sounded like you are interested in more of these events.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna
I
break
hate-
something just so I can fix it.
I hate throwing away all this stuff that seems
Yeah.
like it could be easily repaired.
What
yeah,
kind of world
it's,
is
it's
this?
it's a waste. We live in planned obsolescence where it's like, oh yeah, just throw it away and buy a new one.
Yeah.
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 So, thank you guys.
Okay.
You guys are gonna. Would you
Well,
share your
pick your
experience with
fan.
other people? And
What?
Pick your fan up.
oh yeah, let's get a. There we go. You guys are
We
gonna.
are Fixit Clinic fans.
All right, thank you guys.
Alrighty.